Have you ever felt like you're herding cats, juggling flaming torches, and trying to build a spaceship all at the same time? Yeah, that's what starting a big project can feel like. Today, we're going to dive into project management. And I promise, not as some boring corporate buzzword, but as your survival guide for turning that chaos into complete control.
Oh man, does this hit home or what? That feeling of being almost done for what feels like an eternity. It's such a classic sign of a project that's gone completely off the rails. And listen, we've all been there, whether it's planning a vacation or launching a new app. This right here is the exact project nightmare we are going to learn how to avoid.
And that feeling, that leads us right to what I like to call the project paradox. The truth is, we are constantly running projects in our lives, but most of the time, we're just winging it. We're trying to get to a destination without a map, and, well, you can guess how that usually ends. Missed deadlines, blown budgets, and just a whole lot of frustration. But what if you had a toolkit? A set of proven strategies to guide you from that first little spark of an idea all the way across a successful finish line. Well, there is, and that's exactly what good project management gives you. Okay, so let's get into it. To really get a handle on our projects, we first need to agree on what a project actually is. I know it sounds super basic, but trust me, getting this definition right is the foundation for everything that's about to follow. Now, don't just skim past this definition. There are two words in here that are absolutely critical: temporary and unique. Temporary means it's not your day-to-day job that goes on forever. It has a very clear start and a finish line. And unique means you're creating something new. You're not just cranking out the same widget over and over again. And that distinction, it's a huge deal, as you're about to see. And this comparison just makes it crystal clear. Think about it. Developing a brand new mobile app, that's a project. It's a one-time thing, it's unique. Now think about the daily grind of maintaining a university's IT servers. That's operations. It's ongoing, it's repetitive. So here's the key takeaway. Projects create change while operations keep the lights on. So, you've got your unique temporary project. Now for the hard part. See, every single project is a balancing act. It's this constant tug of war between competing demands. This challenge is so fundamental to project management, it actually has a name: the iron triangle. It's a really simple question, right? But the answer is more complicated than you think. Is it just about getting it done? Is it about staying under budget? Before I give you the answer, just think for a second about a project you've worked on. What made it feel like a win? Or maybe, what made it feel like a total disaster? And here they are, the things you were probably just thinking about. These are the core constraints. Traditionally, we talk about the iron triangle of scope, time, and cost. The thing is, you can't change one without affecting the others. Want it done faster? It's probably going to cost you more, or you'll have to deliver less. And right there in the middle, holding it all together, is quality. A truly successful project nails the scope, on time, on budget, and meets the quality standards we all agreed on. So, what is project management then? It's not just about making checklists and fancy charts. It is the active skill of using your knowledge, your tools, and your techniques to wrestle with that iron triangle, to constantly balance scope, time, and cost to deliver a quality result. It's the art and the science of actually hitting the target you aimed for. All right, so we get the what and the why. We know project management is all about wrestling with that iron triangle. But how do we actually do it? How do we manage that balancing act in the real world? Well, it turns out you need a game plan, a specific strategy, or what we call a methodology that's designed for the type of project you're working on. And speaking very broadly, there are really two main philosophies. On one side, you've got your traditional methods. These are super structured, everything is planned out from the very beginning. It's great if you're building something predictable, like a bridge. Then, on the other side, you have Agile. And Agile is all about flexibility, it's about embracing change. This is perfect for something more dynamic, where you kind of learn as you go, like developing new software. For the rest of this explainer, we're really going to focus on that Agile world, mostly because its ideas are so incredibly useful for all kinds of modern work. So let's zoom in and look at two of the most popular and practical Agile frameworks that you could literally start using tomorrow. First up is Kanban. Now, the name might sound a little weird, but the idea behind it is just beautifully simple. It is all about visualizing your workflow. You take every single task, you put it on a card or a sticky note, and then you track its journey across a board. The whole point is to make the work visible to everyone. And this is exactly what it looks like. A task, let's say fix login bug, starts its life in the to-do column. When a developer grabs it, they physically move that card to in progress. Then it moves to review and finally to done. The absolute beauty of this is its simplicity. In a single glance, anyone, and I mean anyone on the team, can see what's being worked on, what's next, and what's already finished. No more guessing games. So why is this so powerful? Well, first, total transparency. Everybody sees the entire picture. That transparency leads to incredible flexibility. If priorities suddenly change, you just reorder the cards in the to-do list. Easy. It also boosts efficiency because you can limit how much work is in progress at one time, preventing bottlenecks and enabling a really smooth, continuous delivery of value. Okay, so that's Kanban. Now let's look at its cousin, Scrum. If Kanban is all about flow, Scrum is all about rhythm. It's a framework that organizes all the work into these short, consistent cycles called sprints. They're usually about 2 to 4 weeks long. And the goal is to deliver a real, usable piece of the project at the end of every single sprint. Scrum is also very specific about who does what. You have the product owner, they're the voice of the customer, they decide what gets built. Then you have the development team, a self-organizing group that decides how to build it. And finally, the Scrum Master, who is basically the team's coach, helping them stay on track and clearing any roadblocks out of their way. The rhythm of Scrum really comes from these key meetings or events. Every single sprint kicks off with planning, it has a quick daily check-in, and it always ends with 2 really important events: a review, where you show off what you built, and a retrospective, where the team talks about how they can get even better next time. It creates this powerful loop of doing, learning, and improving over and over again. And the heartbeat of that whole rhythm is the daily scrum. It's a super fast 15-minute stand-up meeting where every person on the team answers these 3 simple questions. Now, this isn't some boring status report for a boss. It's a commitment to each other. It makes sure everyone is on the same page and that problems get surfaced and solved right away. And you know, that's really what this is all about. At the end of the day, whether you choose the visual flow of a Kanban board or the structured rhythm of Scrum, you are applying a system. You're taking a complex, messy, chaotic challenge and you are breaking it down into manageable, visible pieces. You're creating a predictable path to make progress. So as we wrap up here, I want you to think about what's next on your to-do list. Is it launching that website, planning that big family reunion? Whatever it is, it's a project. And now you have the toolkit. You can think about its scope, its time, its cost, and its quality. You have game plans to choose from. The only question left is, how are you going to manage its iron triangle and turn that chaos into a success?